Hey guys, it's Erin. Happily We Go here with episode 12 of The Creative Flow. So as you know, this is the Flowish journal that I received from Tiffany, Southern Gals Designs, and I have to choose 3 items out of this in order to create today's project. Now I'm just flipping through here and pulling some things off to the side that I think I may want to use. I have no idea what I'm going to do today, which is par for the course. That's jumping into the flow. But I do know that we are going to use my little journal from Charlotte, Judged by a Book's Cover. And I will have her Etsy shop link down below if you'd like to find one of these cutie little journals yourself. Now I'm throwing on some gesso, and of course I did way too much, but I'm going to spread it out here. And if you follow me on Instagram, I am Happily We Go over there as well. If you follow me at all over there, then you'll have seen I just got back from the Art at the Beach retreat over on the Gulf Shores of Alabama, and it was absolutely gorgeous. Look at this, guys. See that? The patterning in the paper towels? I feel like sometimes I want to buy my paper towels based on their pattern. Anyways, I just got back from Art at the Beach, and I'm a little arted out. So I'm not feeling it today, but we're going to roll with it anyways. Now I just ripped off a piece of this, one of the papers, and if you remember, I think from the last flow, I think I used this paper, but the opposite side. So now we're going to use the colorful side, and I just ripped it, and we're going to go ahead and matte medium down. In hindsight, I probably didn't need to gesso, but one never knows where the flow is going to take them. So I'm going to push it on down, and then we'll grab the heat tool and dry it up. Once you have it all dry, I'm just going to use my fingers here and rip off the top edge of the paper so it matches a little bit more from the other side. Now we'll zoom in, and I have this white part, and I'm thinking it needs a little color. So I'm grabbing the Neocolors. I love these. And I'm just going to take some bright, like a brightish green color, and bring some more of that, what is that, magenta color over to the side. And it wasn't really smudging with my finger, so I grabbed a paintbrush and a little bit of water, and just to get the color to move around. I'll do some doodles here, and then a couple art marks with the black one as well. Then we're going to grab the piano paper, and I decided, what if we used it as a stencil? That might be kind of fun and different. So I'm taking some of the Dylusions paint, and I'm just going to use my finger here and dab it through the holes. And of course, I ended up with way too much paint again. Oh my goodness, come on, Erin, let's get with the program here. So anyways, push it through the little holes, and it's going to give us a little fun design on the other side. So that is item number 2, even though it's not officially on the page. We're still using it. Now I have the Spiderwick Chronicles book that I picked up at a local thrift store, and I loved this little girl, so I decided I wanted to put her on my page. So I'm ripping her out, and then we're going to stick her down. Now the background is a wee bit kind of busy, and I'm going to make it even more busy. I'm going to add a couple stamps. These are some hand-carved stamps that I did, just for fun. And if you notice, I always kind of stamp on one side and then do the opposite stamp on the other side, sort of with my art coloring too. It's just to try and balance out the page. Now I'm going to grab my little girly here and glue her down. I'm just using some cheap old matte medium. I'm going to stick it on the back, and then I decided I'm going to stick it over the top of her too, because I'm not sure if I want to color her in or just leave her plain, but always be prepared. You never know where the flow's going to take you. Then I got to thinking I needed to bring her into the page. Now she's just sticking there. So I grabbed some golden crackle paste, and I'm going to add the crackle around the cutout here. So this is going to bring her into the art piece instead of just sitting on top of it. So I don't know if you can hear it at all, but Aria's laying next to me totally snoring away. Well, that's the life of a mom. Got to get art done when you can. So as you can see now, the crackle kind of brings her into the piece. Now we're going, while that's drying, I decided I want to use one of the little sentiments that were stamped on this page. And I've been really feeling this a lot lately. I may not be perfect, but I'm always me. Sometimes you feel like you're supposed to act or be a certain way, but you know what? You just are who you are, and that is okay. So I have to decide where I want to put this sentiment, and I'm so indecisive. I don't know what to do here. You just try it out in different places, and then I got to thinking, what if I ripped it in half and put part of it in one place and part of it in another place? That might balance it out a little bit more. So we'll try that and see where I like it, and then I kind of opted to put it right there. So we'll just take the matte medium and we'll glue that on down as well. And while I'm gluing it on down, I will remind you to head on over to Tiffany's channel, Southern Gals Designs, and see what 3 things she chose from her Flowish journal that I sent her to create her project today. I will leave a link down in the description box below, and I will also put in that same box all of the items that I used in today's creations. So now I'm going to grab this stamp here, and I'm thinking I may want to stamp it down. So once the matte medium is dry, I'm going to use some Archival ink. And it's kind of a greenish color, and we're gonna stamp it down. I thought maybe in the corner, and it's not a perfect stamp. I'm okay with that. It's just, you know, giving it a little bit of something, something. And I have this old Distress embossing powder from Tim Holtz, and it's really cool. And I thought, why not break that out? So I'm gonna grab just a scrap piece of paper and dump the rest of the embossing powder off on that, and stick it back into the jar. And then I'm going to take a paintbrush and I'm going to dust off the excess embossing powder into the places I don't want it to go. Then we'll go ahead and heat it up. Now the thing about the Distress embossing powder is it's almost kind of like this grittiness, and if you rub your finger over it, usually you can get some of it to scrape off. It wasn't working how I wanted it to, so I grabbed a little bit of sandpaper and I'm just sanding it a little more to give it kind of a more grunge Distress look. Then I got to thinking, I wonder if you could do that with a regular embossing powder. So that is totally going on my list of things I want to try and do. I want to also stamp again with some Brutus Monroe white pigment ink over top of that other stamp. This is just going to give it a little extra, I don't know, dimension, texture, something. But, you know, just kind of make those flowers pop a little bit more. I'm going to grab a Faber Castell Pitt pen, and I'm going to go over top of those letters just to make them pop a little bit more. And with the power of technology, we sped it up so you don't have to watch all of that boringness, because boy, it gets tedious and boring. So I ended up getting a phone call and my camera shut off because, hey, I film with my cell phone. But I did take a charcoal pencil and just drew around the outside to frame the page. And now I have a white gel pen and I'm just sort of accentuating a little bit of the petals and doing some doodling. I'm going to also bring in a pencil and do a little bit of doodling with that. But that is going to finish up this week's Creative Flow. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode of The Creative Flow. Hard to believe we're already 12 episodes in and going strong. I hope you're able to get into your craft space and get a little creating done this week. I'm just pinking up her cheeks a little bit with a Faber-Castell Big Brush marker, but that is the end for sure. Here is a close-up of the picture, and I hope you guys have a fabulous day. Until next time, happy creating.